Hi, my name is Tony, and today I'm going to show you how to make my banana chocolate chip bars from plantbasedonabudget.com. And if you have the Plant Based on a Budget Quick and Easy cookbook, you can find it on page 226. We're going to start by making what's called a flax egg. That's when you take some water and some ground flax meal. You can either buy flax seeds and grind them up so that they're a little bit more fresh, or you can buy them ground already. We're gonna start by making what's called a flax egg. And since we're not using eggs from chickens, we're gonna make a binder using some water and some ground flax meal. At the store, this is often in the baking section, and you can either buy it in whole seeds and grind them up. I use a coffee grinder to grind up mine, or you can buy them already ground. I have 2 tablespoons of ground flax seeds, and I'm adding them into 5 tablespoons of water. When I originally wrote this recipe, I used to do a 1-to-3 ratio, so 1 tablespoon of flax meal and 3 tablespoons of water, but now I like to do a 1 to 2.5 just to make it a little bit thicker. Either way works, but I like my flax egg to take on a really gelatinous consistency, and I'll show you after I'm done setting it aside. And now I'm just gonna set it aside while I do the rest. I'm then gonna mash up some bananas. I'm using really brown bananas today because I've been meaning to film this all week and have been pushing it off, but today is the day these bananas need to be used. We're using 4. They can either be really ripe like this, or you can use some spotted ones like this. I'm gonna peel the bananas and plop them into a large bowl. And as usual, I keep a compost bin right next to me so that I don't have to keep walking to the trash can or a compost bin further away. And that just saves me a little bit of extra time in the kitchen. Now I'm going to use a potato masher and mash these up. If you don't have a potato masher, you can use a sturdy fork too. And you might have seen that I had some bruises on these bananas. That is okay. This part is up to you. If you want some chunky bananas in your bars, you can leave some chunks and not worry about mashing too much. Or if you want it to be more smooth with no chunks of bananas, you can even puree it or use a food processor. To the same bowl, I'm gonna add in some neutral tasting oil. This is a vegetable oil, but if you don't like to use vegetable oil, feel free to use the neutral oil of your choice. And that was 1/4 cup. I'm gonna add the whole written recipe below so you can find that easily. Next, I'm gonna add in a little bit of plant-based milk. You can use any kind of plant-based milk that you have. I'm doing 1/2 cup of this almond milk that's unsweetened. It was the cheapest one at Walmart, which is why I chose it. Next, I'm gonna add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour. I have never tried this one with gluten-free flour, so if you do, let me know how it goes in the comments below, please. This is 1/2 cup of brown sugar. If you don't have brown sugar, that's okay. You can also use granulated sugar as well. 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Now I'm gonna mix everything up all together. If you have a stand mixer, you can do this in there, or if you have an electric mixer, you can use that too. I'm just gonna use my hand so that I can get some more movement in today, but also because I'm trying to do the least amount of dishes as possible. I like using these silicone spatulas to scrape so that in case there is any flour stuck at the bottom, like you can see right here, we're getting that and we're able to mix that in. You can probably see that I went the chunky route, so I've got some chunks of banana in my batter. Next, I'm adding in some dairy-free chocolate chips. These I got from Grocery Outlet, which is a discount grocery store here in Sacramento. The other brands I like are also Guittard and the Trader Joe's chocolate chips that are semi-sweet. I'm gonna add in about 3/4 of a cup. And I'm gonna gently stir them in. If you like more chocolate, using chocolate chunks is also a good idea because then you'll get a bigger bite full of chocolate. Or you can add in a little bit more, so maybe a full cup instead of 3/4 of a cup. Here's the flax egg that I've been sitting aside for a while. You can see that it has thickened up, and I'm gonna pour that in. I almost forgot it. I'm glad I remembered. Make sure you keep yours somewhere within eyesight so that you don't forget. Now in a nonstick pan, I'm going to pour the batter, and if you don't have a nonstick pan, you can use either some spray like an oil spray, or you can use some vegan butter to butter it up, or you can use some parchment paper like I have shown in previous videos where you line the bottom with parchment paper and then pour on top of the parchment paper so you can lift it up. I'm using a nonstick pan, so I'm gonna go ahead and start pouring my batter. Next, I'm gonna shake it like this. Next, I'm going to wiggle my pan around so that the bottom of the pan is evenly coated with the batter. If you have some extra chocolate chips, you can add a little bit on top so that it has a prettier presentation. Now I'm gonna go put it in my preheated oven that is set to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, about 180 degrees Celsius. My bars are now finished, and if you want to check it, you can insert a toothpick or a fork into the middle, and if it comes out nice and dry, then you're good to go. What I'm going to do now is move this to the side and set it on a surface where I can cut, and I'm going to use a pizza cutter. You can feel free to use a knife if you want to cut these into bars. Just like this. You can make them as big as you'd like. And as usual, mine are not even. As if you've seen my other videos, me trying to cut a pie or a cake, you'll know that I am a bad cutter. They actually don't look too bad right now. Alrighty, they look so good. Here is what they look like. It looks good, my whole house smells delicious, and it's a great way to use up your browning bananas. One cool thing about this recipe is that you can also change up the add-ins. You can put in some walnuts, you can add in some blueberries instead of these chocolate chips, or raspberries, or whatever you want. Add in any nuts, seeds, and it'll still be very good. They last for a pretty long time, so if you want to use them for a meal prep dessert, you can let them cool completely, and they'll last in an airtight container for 2 to 3 days at room temperature, or 5 to 7 days in the refrigerator. You can also freeze them. Again, let them cool completely, and once they're all the way cooled, you can store them in an airtight container and put them in the freezer for up to 3 months. And if you want to layer them, you can separate them with parchment paper. These bars are definitely worth making. I always forget how delicious they are. You've got to try them. Again, I'm going to include the recipe down below, and if you decide to make it, please let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button, and thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate it. Hope you have a good day. Bye.